3 from 3 now, more than a 10-goal turnaround from last time we played Werribee. Were you pleased with the weekend's result?
Yeah, I was, Cam, because as you said, we had some very, very significant losses to Werribee last year. Twice, actually, they beat us by in excess of 10 goals. So if we're playing what we believe is going to be another side that's competing pretty strongly for a position in the top 4, we have to make sure that we try and get the points. So very pleasing to win. Obviously, it was a game on TV, and when we're trying to promote our brand and also to promote the way we play, hopefully a lot of people enjoyed the 4-quarter performance. It was a good game by 2 very, very good sides.
The second term, was that the best football you've seen us play for quite a while?
I was very pleased with the response, and we probably needed that because I thought Werribee dominated the last 6 or 7 minutes of the first quarter and also to about the first 4 or 5 minutes of the second. So for us to kick 7 unanswered goals, it was very constructive play. It was our style of play that we try and generate run from our half-back line, obviously get it in quickly, and we seem to be also too winning our fair share of ball out of the centre. So that was pleasing. I'd like it actually to be done for 4 quarters rather than just 1 quarter. And that's a little bit about how we've played this year. We've played real dominant quarters, 8 goals late in the last quarter against Coburg in round 1, 9-goal first quarter against Collingwood in round 2, and now obviously a 7-goal quarter against Werribee in round 3. So we just need to get a little bit more consistency right across the board, and that's the thing that we're striving for as a team, and it's certainly what the coaches want from our boys for this year.
We've kicked over 100 points in every game so far. Are you pleased with how the new forward line is functioning?
Yeah, it has been really pleasing after losing Dean Galea, who was a wonderful player for us, premiership player, and just the consistent ability to find goals. We sort of thought, well, who's going to replace Dean this year? And we thought it would be a collective arrangement rather than just an individual arrangement. So a lot of our boys have been able to assist one another in relation to scoring goals. So it's been Scaponi, who has had a 4-goal game, Connors has had a 4-goal game, Will Johnson's had a 4-goal game, but it's also to what those other forwards are doing in relation to score assists. So if we can spread the workload, it should make it harder for the opposition to counter the number of players we have kicking goals in our forward line. And certainly if our mids can chip in there and kick the odd goal, we're pleased about that as well. So the spread's great. The other thing that we believe is vital, though, too, is trying to keep the opposition to below 12 goals. So we were a little bit disappointed that we allowed Werribee to actually score in excess of 90 points. So our defensive mechanisms certainly seem to be getting better, but they need to get better because we don't want to have an opposition score close to 100 points in a game.
We seem to have a lot more run from the back line in 2014. Has that been a focus over the summer?
Most definitely, and we thought we didn't generate a lot of drive last year out of our defence, and we probably had guys who were playing in there that were very similar in the way that they played. So if we can get a better mix and a bit more versatility and flexibility, and obviously guys like Luke Tynan, Marcus Davies and Marcus Merigliani, they've added a lot more drive out of our half-back line. And with Sam Fleming, Dan Noonan, Tom Langford, Josh Purcell, they're guys that have certainly been able to be very good together. And we'd like it's a greater number of defenders who play there. We can talk about 6 players playing there at any given time, but we feel that we need to have probably a back 8 or a back 9 in numbers who can cater for what the opposition are going to throw at us. So far it's been pretty good, and I think, again, we defended really well in that last quarter on Saturday when Werribee were coming hard. So far it has been a pretty good effort by our boys in the back half of the ground.
Tom O'Sullivan looks to be another player who's stepped up this year.
He has, and I think that's a credit to his pre-season. He really didn't miss any sessions. He's got himself in pretty good nick fitness-wise, and we always thought that young Tom could play the game. He's pretty cool around the stoppages and he distributes the ball pretty well, but certainly just getting that extra pre-season under his belt, and he had a really good solid 4 or 5 months, and I think he's reaping the benefits of how he's actually been able to adapt, get his fitness level up, and also too he's a lot more confident now at this level, and I think he believes in his own mind that he can obviously play the game at what is the next best competition outside the AFL.
Which players from our undefeated reserves team are knocking on the door for selection?
Well, it's actually been really good because the development team has won their 3 games as well. So the internal pressure that we need as a club has to be certainly at the forefront of what we do each week, because we don't want guys to be getting comfortable. So players that have been very, very unlucky, and certainly they're putting their hand up for selection, have been Sam O'Sullivan, Damien Masidi, Nick Papaleo, Sam Gilmore, Dale Whelan, Alex Brown. There's Sandy Robinson as well. So we'd certainly like to think there's probably as many as 8 or 9 players that are actually just waiting in the wings. And at the minute, they probably need to be patient. But as we also know, things in footy can change pretty quickly. So we just keep telling them to be ready when the moment arrives. And hopefully we can have that good depth throughout the course of this year. And the internal pressure is really important for us if we want to strive to go as deep as we can within the finals in season 2014.
Looking forward to this week's game, Port Willie. Doesn't get much bigger. Are you confident we can get the points down at Point Jellybrand?
Well, we're always confident because of the way that we play, and we believe in our style of play. We obviously believe the players that will be playing down at Point Jellybrand will certainly get the job done. And against my old teammate, Andy Collins, and of course it's their 150th year and it's our 140th year, and we know they're on one side of the Yarra and we're on the other side of the Yarra, and we know what great games we've actually had over the last however many years. So it's an important one for us. Obviously it's important for Willie, but we think with our style of play, with the confidence that we've got in the group, the way we're starting to gel a bit better, this should be one of the best games within the VFL fixture for season 2014, and hopefully we're just a little bit better.
Borough TV is a Port Melbourne Football Club production.